They yelling Black Lives Matter. How is that the truth? When these rappers pushing money, sex, and murder on our youth. Labels put it in our face, now we all got it on loop. We all streaming the songs and these rappers riding in coops. And these rappers don't know their voice. Get canceled for speaking out.
I fucking love that song.
So do I. It's very motivating.
Dude, you know when you were like messing around with like the intro at the beginning? What if I would have like lifted up my shirt and I was like scratching my boobs or something, like doing like a quick adjustment? What would you have done if we were live?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I think I would have I probably would have been like, what are you doing?
We would have been in trouble, is what it would have happened. I would have been
I
scratching
didn't
my
start it
titty.
though. I was
What?
kidding, and she was doing stuff. I kept pretending like I was going to start it, but I didn't.
Yeah,
That
she
was
was
fun.
faking me out. So we live, surprise.
I'm not good at pre-recording, you guys. I'm just telling you now. I do better with the live audience when I can just get all I need to get out.
Yeah.
Because if I pre-record it, I'm going to be like, I didn't say this, so now we have to go back and record it, and it just wouldn't be a good time.
I mean, to be honest with you, you were kind of hyped the last 2 days because you've had a lot. Like it was the Sunni shadow boxing, because to the Rocky theme because you were right about some candidates.
Yeah.
And then you've been hype about the Kyrie thing today. So we were gonna do a pre-recorded show because we're not gonna do a show on Friday because I'm gonna be in Colorado. But then I was like, I wasn't feeling the energy. And I was like, she needs an audience.
I can't
That's
do
what
it.
it is. That's
You know
what
how
it
many
is.
times I've tried to like do a reaction video where I put it up and I'm just like, yeah, this is boring. Like I just need to see people talking.
Yeah. But do we
Interaction.
have anybody on here? Because I don't even see.
There's 13 people watching total.
Okay.
There's nobody in the chat box yet, but they're here. This was
Well,
definitely a random show.
y'all need to get in the chat box. Shit.
Comment now. Hello.
Comment in the chat box. You guys ready for this show? Because we were gonna pre-record this, but now we're gonna do it live. That's what it is.
I can't do pre-records. I can, but I just wasn't feeling it tonight.
Yeah. That's all I do is pre-records. All day, every day.
Don't see how you do it. How do you so you get it all in one take or you have to do multiple takes?
Usually I do it all in one take. Yeah. So see, like I could probably do like a one-man radio show, but I love the interaction with you because it's cool to like have a conversation. Because like
Yeah.
otherwise, when you're pre-recording stuff, you're having a conversation with yourself and you're talking to nobody.
Exactly. It's so weird.
Yeah. So
I would never be able to do a show like that. If they're gonna have me on anything, it's gotta be live and I have to show up or they're gonna get a really dull Sunni. Cause
yeah.
I don't know. It's like this weird phenomenon. I can't really explain what it is. I just don't do good at. I can do a pre-record a 60-second reel and I put it out there and it's fine. But you ask me to
Right.
do like 10 minutes and I'm monologuing, it ain't happening.
Yeah. But see, sometimes this is the good thing about pre-recording is I'll be like, hey guys, what's up? It's Monique. Let's talk, darling. And then I'll be like, oh, fuck. And then I can just like pause live or I'll just clap like, because like when you do TV and you have to do
Yeah.
a retake, you just clap to kind of know that the person that's editing that's where they kind of cut it, right? So I'll be like, hey, what's up? It's like I reset really quick. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Or like if I start thinking in my head, like, okay, you're rambling, I could be like, okay, cut. And then I'll be like, let me pick it up from, you know what I mean? So
Can't do that.
when you guys see the final version, it's been nicely sewed together. Yeah.
Bro, there would be so many cuts. I'm a perfectionist. When I'm doing like it has to be perfect, I'm not putting it out. It's no. What's up, Liddell?
What's up,
How you
Liddell?
doing?
We're doing a sneak show because we were gonna pre-record, but we felt like we needed our people
Yeah, I
in
couldn't do
here.
it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching on Instagram, please come over to YouTube if you're watching on my Instagram. Yeah. Leave Deontay's live. Okay, because I'm sure he's just ranting about Jews and I want to hear that. But not right now. You need to come over here and watch this. So come to my YouTube. We're live.
Actually, let me just go in that live and tell everybody to come over here.
Sunni and Mo are live. Get over here.
Oh, he ain't got nobody in his life.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never mind. All right. So what are we talking about today? What did we decide?
We're talking about Kanye's infamous trainer. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about Candace. We're talking about the conflicts between Ben Shapiro and Candace kind of taking over Twitter right now. I have
Mm-hmm.
a clip from her that really solidified what I've thought about her in these last couple weeks. Not that it's been much of a change. I always thought she was awesome. But she is definitely speaking my language. I'm sorry, but I like the direction she's gone in. It feels authentic, it feels real. And it's just amazing to see another black conservative take this approach and not be afraid of the backlash, because you definitely get
Right.
backlash. You get backlash for being sympathetic towards blacks. I don't care. I'm going to say it. Whoever don't like it, don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. It is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. She was very
Mm-hmm.
understanding and sympathetic. She understood. And she even related, like, I can relate to this. I was just like, bro, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying this. So
And
those
what
are the
did we
topics we're
say?
going to get into.
We said this latest video from Candace shows one thing. What does it show?
She black.
She black. Y'all can't take her black card.
She
Okay. No
black.
more. You guys can't take it. She is showing up and showing out. Okay. Liddell
Since
wants to
we're
come on.
Liddell, sure,
Send the link.
Liddell. You got it? Or you want me to do it?
Yeah, send it to him. You know I don't do any of that. Malarkey.
Mo's like, Cindy, you're so smart. And I'm sitting here like, I'm just
Right.
downloading a video.
But
Thank you,
it's like,
though.
I know, but you look so smart doing it, is what I'm saying. But I'm smart in other ways. Like there's things that I can do that Suni can't do. So
Right, like record.
so
I
take that.
can't do that shit.
Like pre-record and edit. And I'm a good editor.
And put makeup on. I can't do that either.
Right. See?
Where's Liddell? Liddell, where you
You
at, man? So while we're doing this and where Liddell's gonna come on, shout out to Liddell. I'm gonna play this video. I stopped in traffic, y'all. I should have recorded myself. I was so extra. I went extra slow so that I can get to the stoplight from dropping my kids off, because I heard what she said and I was like, no, she didn't just say that. So I ran it back and I was like, no, she didn't just say that. And I pressed screen record to make sure I wasn't tripping. And I heard her say this. I stopped traffic and I was like, in my car, I'm screaming. I know people can see me. They're probably like, bro, what the fuck's going on with this lady? Freaking out. I had a fangirl moment because she
Mm-hmm.
said something that was awesome. Liddell, I sent it
Mm-hmm.
to you in your inbox. I'm about to play this clip. I want to know what you guys think.
Okay, now you might disagree with that. You might disagree with the Oxford Dictionary definition, but you can't be mad at him for stating the actual Oxford Dictionary definition. The last thing that I want to say here, just regarding his press conference, and I want to say this really from the heart, because there was so much pressure that was put upon me to condemn Kyrie Irving, right? To condemn Kyrie Irving based on this press conference, to basically decide that his pain is irrelevant. When I watched this press conference, I felt Kyrie's pain. I felt his pain, and I will say this emotionally and not rationally, as a Black person. People don't often think about how bizarre it is that we don't know where we come from, right? We don't know. If you ask the majority of white people, they'll say, oh, my family's from Scotland. My husband's family can go back so many generations and talk about where they're from in England. And when you talk to most people, they have this sort of cultural understanding of their history. We don't. It's a weird feeling. You do sort of feel out of place. And yes, of course, it's because of the slave trade. And I'm not throwing that on anybody. I'm not saying that it's somebody else's fault. But what Kyrie Irving says is that you can't pit atrocity against another atrocity and basically say that his pain doesn't matter, that his noble pursuit of wanting to know where he came from, even if he landed on the wrong conclusions, is something that he is valid in feeling. It's a journey that he is valid in wanting to go on and wanting to partake in. So no, I'm not going to turn my back on Kyrie Irving and pretend that he's an awful human being based on this press conference. It's wrong. There are a lot of people that feel that they are in pain from the Jewish community because they're upset that he shared this link. But also, if you're not paying attention, there are a lot of Black Americans that are telling you that they feel that they're in pain because you're telling them that they're not allowed to feel the way they feel about not understanding their roots. Following the statement that was made by the Brooklyn Nets, they then came back and...
Bruh.
That was awesome. And you know what? The fact that she said, "I'm getting a lot of pressure to condemn what he said." Like, you know who's pressuring her, right? Like, it's obviously Shapiro, it's
Daily
Prager,
Wire.
Daily Wire, maybe people who are in business with Candace, maybe people that are in business with her husband, who knows, man? But,
Mm-hmm.
like, it really shows her character and her commitment to her people, to her community, to say, I am not going to do that. Nobody's going to tell me what to say or what to think.
Facts.
Amazing. Mhm.
I am waiting to see how many conservatives condemn her. Not that
Why
I
do you
want her
think
to
they
get the same,
would?
because I know how it was when I came out and spoke. I've said the exact same thing she said. I
Mhm.
understand why black people feel the way they do. They don't know their history. They don't know their
Mhm.
identity. Of course they're going to be angry. Of course they're going to attach themselves to things that make no sense, like BLM. And you know what I was called? Oh, you're pro-black, you're liberal. So I personally can't wait to see how people respond to her, or if people will respond at all, because this could potentially be a clip that no one ever speaks about. And I think
Mhm.
that would be telling as well.
Mhm.
It's I don't know, bro. You get a different response when you want to show understanding to the possible black plight. It's a problem. So
Mhm.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what people say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. Like when you think about it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, right? Like Trump,
Mhm.
the stuff that he says, right? Like people are all for it until he says what you don't want to hear, right? Those people that are like free speech, we believe in
Mhm.
everybody's right to have an opinion until it's the opinion I don't want to hear. That's always what it is, right?
Facts.
What I think is really funny about this is that like I feel like it's finally coming full circle
Mhm.
because at some point, the Black community is gonna have to defend Kyrie and Kanye and the Candaces and the Larry Elders
Mhm.
and, the great, right? Like the great Black conservative people that have been called coon, Chad Jackson, that have been called
Yes.
coon and traitor and house Negro and all this other stuff, right? It's gonna have to come back around and they're gonna have to say, you know what? We may not always agree, but nobody's going to tell our people to shut up, not even us. Like that has to happen.
Exactly. That's where I am. I don't really
Yeah.
care. Like, look, I don't have to agree with everything Kyrie agrees with. As far
Mhm.
as his comments on the slave trade and blacks being the original Jews, I don't care. It's the fact that you can't say this, and it seems to be a problem, and you're having to apologize from this. The same people who are asking you to apologize have no problem supporting
Mhm.
countries with severe, outright anti-black rhetoric. I
Mhm.
posted a video. I showed an NBA player,
Yeah.
Sonny Weems, coming off of a bus, and they're shouting the N word at him. Where is the NBA's heat on that?
Mhm.
Why are we not the human rights issue? All this stuff coming out of China. We don't talk about any of that. But he's got to apologize for posting a documentary. No, bro.
Mhm.
No. It's
Yeah.
just it's too weird.
Yeah. They're afraid of losing those endorsement deals. That's what it is cuz Nike, China.
Money.
Money. Yeah. We said it, right? Until people stop worshiping that money, they're
Mm-hmm.
never going to be able to think clear. They're
That's
never
true.
going to be able to think clear. And they're so afraid of it. And I think what you don't realize is when you stop worshiping it, it's there,
Yeah. It's
you know?
wild.
Yeah, it
So
is
that
wild.
video I just showed you prompted a response, of course, from Ben Shapiro once again. He I have to get that clip and do a reaction to it later. He says that Candace is morally wrong for her support of Kanye and Kyrie. And I was just like, morally? What's up, Liddell? What's up?
Hey.
Yes! Yeah! What's going down, y'all, baby? My bad, I'm sorry. You're welcome.
Oh
Moving
my
forward, we're
gosh.
Oh,
going. There we go. There we
oh,
go.
that's
My
right.
bad, yeah.
That's right.
Y'all see it. Don't shout, man. Talk to Jesus about it.
This
Okay.
guy, I
Uh-huh.
love when
We
he comes on social media and he does that. But
always.
Yes, sir.
Ben and Candace have been in a heated battle and discussion because Candace is doubling down even more with this tweet that she retweeted. I thought it was an awesome retweet because it makes so much sense. But Max Blumenthal said, "We white American Jews are living through a golden age of power, affluence, and safety. Acceptance of this welcomed reality threatened. The entire Zionist enterprise, from the lobby fronts like ADL to the state of Israel, because Zionism relies on Jewish insecurity to justify itself." And she retweeted it and said, "You know what? You're about to get in trouble with this because I get in trouble from my own people for pointing out the same things regarding the NAACP and BLM. When you disrupt the trauma economy and call out the not-for-profits that benefit from it, you become their next target. And who comes behind Candace?
Max
Ben Shapiro
Blumenthal
himself."
Oh.
Right there. This is Ben Shapiro's response. "I think the ADL is a partisan hack organization, but retweeting Max Blumenthal, who spends his life covering for Jew haters and stomping for Israel's destruction, makes the conversation significantly worse." And she responded to Ben by saying, "You could have simply called me. Let's do better." Savage response from Candace. I love it. But the fact that this is even happening, in my opinion, is crazy. But I want y'all's opinion because I've already spoke on this today.
Go ahead, Liddell.
Well, number one, great job, girls. Keep doing what you do. You know what I'm talking about? The Somewhere in the Middle show is a great show. It just got better because I'm on the screen. It's all good.
Clearly.
Number two, um, this whole thing with Candace and Kyrie and Kanye, it's very clear to me that, and I'm going to speak on Kyrie right now, is they're trying to realistically control him.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to realistically silence him.
Mm-hmm.
Force him to give $500,000 to a nonprofit, and then go through this anti-hate stuff. I'm just like, man, it just smells like one segment of the population is trying to control thoughts and speech. And to that, I say, hell no. Who are you to control anything at all?
Mm-hmm.
At the exact same time, because if someone did that to you, you'll be crying wolf and be accurate by crying wolf.
Yep.
And so, kudos to Candace Owens for speaking out. And yeah, I agree with you guys. You can't take a black card now, guys. It's hers. And
Yep.
the thing about it is who are you to even try to think that you can take someone's black card? Get the hell out of here. Grow a pair. Come on, stop all this, man. For real. Candace, great work. Keep doing what you're doing. Ben Shapiro. Brother, I love the Daily Wire. I love what you're doing with the Daily Wire Plus. I love all that you're doing big time. Watch yourself, though, because at the exact same time, I understand that it's doing very well. There's a lot of African Americans that are actually behind you. Be careful with not leaning in and beginning to reason with us instead of dismissing. That's the one thing that I don't understand is people are so quick to come out and yell victim without even sitting down and listening to the other side. And that's going to graduate over to chaos.
Yep.
And so this is where we are right now. So I said, guys, how about we do this here? Be quick to hear and slow to speak before you begin to talk, because people are really so quick to get angry that they refuse to even listen. And some of these are conservatives, the very ones that be crying out about we ain't being listened to, we're being silenced. Now you turn around and doing the same thing that the people that you were castrating are doing when it comes to silencing you. That's called hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say about that.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I thought it wasn't, I
Thank
agree.
you.
It wasn't cool of him to start addressing this publicly to her, right? Like they know each other. They don't need to go in on each other on social media. And he just they actually just came out today. It was a podcast interview with Lex Friedman, who Lex also interviewed Kanye a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked Ben Shapiro, he said, what are your thoughts on Candace Owens? And he said, well, I love that she's outspoken and she's going to say things that most people won't say. And I hate that she's outspoken and she's going to say things that people won't say. And I was like, okay, so that's kind of a dig right there, because basically you're saying sometimes she needs to be quiet. Like, again, I go back to the thing. You can't love somebody for being outspoken and saying things that they want to say and then tell them until you say that.
Yeah.
You can't put restrictions around that. Like, you either
Yeah, you
love them for
can.
that or you don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Facts.
But,
Yeah.
and I respect the hell out of Ben Spear. He's one of the smartest men I've heard in a long time. I mean,
Mhm.
he eviscerates people in debates. It's bad. This one, I believe he dropped the ball on. He dropped the ball on. And if Candace is saying to him, "You could have called me," that leads me to potentially conclude that he's speaking without even engaging with someone that he actually is a partner with.
Mhm.
Take that behind closed doors. If I have an issue with Sunni, I ain't gonna come alive and say I got an issue with Sunni. No,
But
I'm gonna go talk to Sunni.
do you think he was trying to bait her
I don't
into,
know.
like, having a public, saying something publicly that then he can turn around and use against her?
I don't know. He's never done it before in the past, and so I'm not going to lean upon yes he is. I'm going to lean on I don't know, or
Mhm.
I'm going to lean on I think he's just realistically just speaking out of I would say not manufactured anger, but about uninformed anger, without
Mhm.
sitting down and reasoning with them. Why don't you call Kanye? Say, man, let's sit down and talk.
Right.
Right.
Sit down and talk. Hey, Ken, let's sit down and talk. What's going on? Begin to be the wise person in the room. Don't look like everybody else that you've been castrating when you're debating.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Mhm. It does.
No, I agree. That was the point that Candace made that really made me excited to hear. In order to repost that, when she said, "You don't get to silence someone else speaking on their pain,
Mhm.
Hmm.
just because they may not have landed it the right way, or just like you said, well, you didn't say it exactly the way I wanted you to say. So now what you have to say is null and void. I don't care." Well,
Mhm.
that
No.
that is some of the same rhetoric that contributes to what folks on the black people view as far as the conservatives go. They feel like you don't listen, you don't care. So now you're
Yeah.
proving the stereotype right. And I'm glad she's doing what she's doing. I actually agree with Mo here. I think Daily Wire is going to sever ties with Candace because of her doubling down. I really do.
See, I think Candace is smart enough to sever ties first. I think she'll leave them before they do her, because they have to tread carefully there. They
Mm-hmm.
have to tread carefully, right? Like, it could be huge backlash for them if it's even perceived they fired Candace because of this whole thing. So they
Mm.
might work out in the background. Hey, Candace, I think it's best we part ways, and then they make it appear amicable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Well, you can make cases for both sides. I think that I'm gonna go out and land, and I'm gonna say they're going to get in the room and reason together.
Mm,
I'm holding on to that. And
mhm.
if they don't, whoever decides to sever ties first, we'll see.
I mean, that would be great, right? Candace,
Mhm.
they get in a room and, Ben Shapiro, the leader of Jews for the leader of Jews for, podcasts, there he is, like, hey, that's a good first step. I'm all for that. Because I'm not here to keep beef going, right? Like,
Right.
Suni, obviously, she was just on a live. Like, she's trying to have conversations
Yeah.
with people that we haven't had conversations with before. And I think that that's what should come out of a situation like this is
Mm-hmm.
dialogue.
Sure, sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
The only critique I would have, um trying to bridge the gap and talking to the Jewish community as often
Hmm.
as I have is
Hmm.
they're very dismissive of your experience as a black person, like
Yeah.
extremely dismissive. Especially if it comes at the hands from a fellow Jew, then they're like, well, I don't know if they were Jew and neither do you, and then we get caught in this circle jerk of a conversation of, well, you need to prove that they're Jewish. And my original grievance with you is gone now because you're too busy trying to defend being Jewish. Bro, do you look, we can talk and I can hear you. I understand. But you're not going to keep stepping over or stepping on my feelings to get across to your point. I was trying to explain that to this lady earlier, and I said, you can't expect Black people to just shut up when we're watching a public lynching of 2 Black men. Like, that's not how that works. And it's coming at the hands of people who identify as Jewish. You don't get to tell us, no, stop talking. What you're saying is anti-hate. That's not how it works. And I still don't even think she was grasping what I was saying because she was so busy trying to defend being Jewish. That's where the disconnect, just my experience. Now, everyone else might be different, but my experience with them has been that.
I guess, how about instead of trying to present a case on being Jewish, how about just being wise? Let's just begin being wise. Why does everything begin with a culture or a color?
Because we're trained that way now, you know? I won't even say they're trained that way. We're all trained that way now.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, why? And it's just, man, what does the Bible say? And all that you're getting, gain understanding. No one's trying to understand. Everyone is so in love with their own opinion. They're in love with telling you versus listening to you to understand.
Yes.
And the thing about it is they believe that listening to understand it takes more work. Sometimes it does, but I would beg to differ. I would say you speaking uninformed, that takes more work because you have to. Then once you grow in wisdom, then you have to go back and retrack all the carnage you caused from speaking from an ignorant standpoint. If that makes sense.
Yep,
I agree.
100%.
This. Keep going, Con. Now, I saw I don't know if it was fake or not. Is Kyrie retiring?
There's a rumor. I haven't seen anything confirming that.
Yeah, there's just rumor.
Yeah, well, and I haven't seen anything from him specifically saying that.
So when you call out an entire group, they will get defensive. You get defensive when you're operating not from a wise perspective.
Exactly.
Why is your first response is to defend? Why not ask questions to gain understanding?
Like, I'll end on this topic here. These are the same people who will have no problem speaking on black crime, anything Black, right? And if you get defensive as a Black person, you're a victim. I'm not talking about all Blacks. Why should I have to say this, that, and the third? There's so many qualifiers for them just speaking in general terms with other people. But when it comes to speaking in general terms with the Jews, well, then you have to be careful of, am I going to offend them? Like, no, it's not all Jews. And I shouldn't have to say that, just like I don't say not all Blacks. If the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't, okay, throw it out.
Wear that thing. Put it on, baby. Put the shoe on.
I'm just saying, man.
Put the shoe on.
Oh, man.
I ain't buying no more Adidas, though. I own a lot of Adidas shoes.
Adidas.
Oh, man.
I love Adidas. It breaks my heart.
Man, them things
breaks my heart.
The cheapest, high quality shoes, man. I prefer Adidas over Nike. Oh, no more.
And you know what I heard? That the CEO of Puma may step into the CEO role at Adidas.
Really?
Who will? Who?
Puma, the CEO of Puma. The current CEO of Puma.
Interesting. Now you understand. You know what's his name? Who was the founder of Def Jam? I'm forgetting his name.
Russell Simmons.
He came out and said that Kanye is no longer with Adidas. The I guess his partner with the Yeezy ugly shoe ugly as hell shoe is now with him as well, and I guess all his manufacturers as well. He said this is a great time for him to start his own stuff.
Yeah,
start his own stuff. I'll buy it as long as it looks good because them Yeezys is trash.
I
Things is
love them.
ugly. Things is terrible
Nah,
looking.
they're nice.
Bless you.
There's a nice
They're
crossbreed of
comfortable.
Nike and Adidas. I'm sorry,
Huh?
there
Huh?
is. I'm gonna send you
Man,
the new Air Max.
put up a picture of them ugly old Yeezys, and I want to
No,
hear y'all
Which
comment on that guy.
one?
ugly.
So now you don't want to put up the picture now,
They're
huh?
not
Things
ugly.
is terrible. Things is trash.
Oh
Things is
god.
horrid.
Hey,
I can't say
Shalom,
that.
bro. You can request to come on, man. I I won't mind. We're not. I'm gonna have to cut it short though because this is definitely supposed to be a live show. But if you want to talk, bro,
If
I don't
Ben
mind talking
posted
to you,
that
man.
he's
Who's
going
Shalom?
DEFCON 3 on black people,
This guy on
he would
Facebook.
how would that be taken? To be honest with you, Shalom, it would probably be taken the exact same way that the Jews took it when Kanye said his. Gotta be honest, big dog. Gotta be it probably take the same way because no one is looking to gain understanding.
Yeah.
It works on both sides, big dog.
But do you really think there would be the repercussions for
No.
Ben that there is for Kyrie? Like, do you think they'd be like, Ben, we need you to make a $500K donation to BLM? Like, no way would that be the same thing. I don't think
Well,
so.
Ben and Kyrie are in two different spectrums. Kyrie's an employee. Ben is an owner. Two different perspectives.
True. But
So
still.
who's going to hold Ben Shapiro accountable? Only the consumers would, because it's a privately held company.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Is to answer Shalom's question. I agree with him. It'd be the same response. Be the same response.
Hmm.
If Ben said it, Ben would still have his.
Shout out to
Yes,
the OG Jerome Bell in the comment section, man. I'm glad you're here watching.
you know what? I could, and Jerome, because he's the owner. He's the owner, bruh. He the owner. Kyrie and Ben are in two spectrums. Kyrie is an employee of the Brooklyn Nets, who was a part of the NBA. Ben Shapiro is the owner of the Daily Wire. Two different people. Would love to join the chat for a minute. Hey, Shalom, I guess check your inbox, big dog. Come on, get in with us, big dog.
Big time.
My man.
Ah.
Yes, sir. Let's get it in. I love the
Look,
reason.
look,
Let's
look at
reason.
Liddell. Liddell said, I'm the
Let's reason.
third host. I'm the third host of Somewhere in the Middle. He is
Hey,
in the middle.
hey, y'all. And the middle looks better. Look at you. You heard me say it
Oh,
though.
see,
Here we
you
go,
can't
boy.
insult the host of the shows, man.
See. There you go
There
being
are
defensive.
two beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
There you go being
That
defensive.
no, I'm stating facts. I gotta state.
We are
I gotta state facts.
diverse. You got to say
Hey,
the word diverse.
hey, don't shout me down. It's all right. Don't shout me down. Ye not an employee. Exactly. Ye not an employee. The thing with ye is this here is ye ye's not he does own his company, which is great, but he has partnerships with manufacturers that he needs
Mhm.
to produce his product. And his manufacturers have several ties with him. Now, what ye can do in the counter is either he can partner with someone that's not going to do that and renegotiate the contract to where he has more control, or ye
Mm-hmm.
can actually start his own manufacturing firm, which I believe he should do, and begin building it that way. So he owns everything,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Ben Shapiro owns the stream. He don't own the streaming service, but he owns the streaming service. He owns the equipment. He owns the building. He owns
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So different. I learned a lot.
Suni, I would be interested to hear Liddell's opinion on that article that we were reading earlier today, that Yahoo article about Candace and Blexit.
Oh, I thought it was about
Yes.
me. My bad.
Since
No,
he's
so
a businessman. I want to know
there's a hit
if what I
piece.
said was correct.
There's a hit piece that came out from the Daily Beast where they are highlighting that the fundraising and the money coming into Blexit has slowed down, but Candace is still making her very lucrative salary. And they posted her
Oh,
2019 and 2020, not her personal ones, but Blexit, the organization. They posted their taxes, the tax information, I personally
Mm.
didn't see anything on there that was just like, huh? I just saw
Mm.
the money that was coming in, um, and how much was on salary. But I
She made
don't
25 grand a month.
necessarily see like I don't the only reason they posted this, in my opinion, was to discredit what she's come out and say lately. Like, why else would they post this? Why else, like, why even bring it up? What, and I can send it to you and you can look at it in the
I mean,
background.
from what you're saying concerning, so it sounds like what you're saying is Blexit's contributions went down, but she's still making her
Salary.
pretty massive salary. I think it's about 25K a month. Is that right?
I have no clue, but I'll
I
I'll
think it's
pull the
about,
article
But
up
it
so you can see.
probably breaks out to that.
but I would have to look at the language of the agreement that she has with the nonprofit to see, uh, okay, that this is what's actually on paper. So if that is the case, if their contributions are going down, I would say it'd probably be wise to rework that agreement to where if it goes, there should be some type of step down or step ups, so to speak, to where if contributions go down, her salary goes down to a certain floor or a tear down. If it goes up, it goes to tear up, but it would never go below a certain figure. That's for sure. And what I would do is I'd say if you want this, you got to be a little bit more vocal when it comes to Brexit, because we're paying for your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
I
Shalom,
want
what's
you to
up,
read
baby?
it. I'm gonna send it to your inbox
Hey, how
now.
are
What it do, family? What's going down?
not much. I agree with you with what has been said, and I'm the first person to go to my community. Kanye saying things that are problematic. There are a lot of Jews doing a lot of damage. It's the first thing that happened that night when Kanye said that they on the local community chats they were back wrong already. He just pointed out a problem. We don't have to be so hot-headed about it. The only thing the reason why the lash out is so strong is because it feels like you're targeting an entire the response from the community. That's my whole point I'm trying to make. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we can.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree that everyone
okay.
has to relax and take what's true and not true. The big
Yeah.
backlashes, and I think that might be part of it because
Mhm.
when you say Jews, I'm with Kanye's issues with his bankers and his managers. Like I don't even know Kanye. I had nothing to do with him. Definitely not a wealthy banker. I bet I live day to day like most people.
Sure.
It just feels mixed. So it's like the last
So I have a
backlash comes
question.
like
I've got a
sure.
question to that. Did you read the tweet in its entirety, or did you stop at Jewish people? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
The one the DEFCON 3.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the tweet.
Okay, so then you would know upon reading its entirety that he didn't mention. He mentioned who he was talking about exactly, and it wasn't Jewish people. It was specific Jewish people.
Well,
So
he
my
all that I understood from
is
his tweet, or what I saw from his tweet,
my pushback to what you just said is if it was read in its entirety, there's no reason Jewish people should be freaking out because he did not specify all Jews.
right. So what I understood from the tweet was he didn't specify that it's a problem with Jews, and he said it's not really anti-Semitic because I'm a real Jew. Something that's what I understood from the tweet. How that it was a bunch of, which happens to be I'm a big staunch and leftist Jews that run Israel. That whole segment to me is a problem. But he didn't. He just when he said death on Jews, and he said it was not anti-Semitic because I'm the real Jew. The people that walk around look.
He didn't say that.
Jewish
That's a misrepresentation of, again, because
that's when I read
I'm the real
his
Jew
tweet. I mean, I saw a
never
picture
was
of
on
it.
his tweet.
I'm the something about original. When I can try and bring it up now,
He
but I
didn't
can't
say
remember the
that
exact wording.
either.
Right, I have to remember the exact wording, but that's what I. Let me try
The
and find
only point I'm making is this is what happens, right? people start playing telephone and they don't read what's actually written there. He didn't say, I'm the original Jews, we're the real Jews. He said, blacks are Jews also. So don't say that I'm being anti Semitic because we're also Jew. And he also specified at the bottom, you have messed with me long enough, you've blackballed me for going against your narrative. That doesn't encompass all Jews.
I
So this
I
attack,
agree with you, and I argued we were talking here about why Jews are getting so head up. I'm just explaining to you that if it feels like a person Jews, he could have said managers, bankers, anything that would have narrowed who the problem was with. He wouldn't
Why
have
does that
gotten such a
matter?
backlash. Why? Because most people feel attacked personally. It feels like you're saying me, I'm included in that problem. The same way why I just asked about if you said it about eventually said about blacks. Maybe it's not the right response, but automatically,
So,
and it's hard for
so,
you
so
to
Shalom.
listen to that.
So Shalom. It sounds like what the source of your contention with Kanye is him talking about DEF CON 3 for the Jews. That's where your source for contention is. Would that be right?
Well, so I have no complaints. I think there is a problem with the people that he's been dealing with. I don't blame him for being angry. The same way I argued with them this side of it, with my friends, with the Jewish community, I'm pointing out back what I don't have a problem with Kanye's views. I think he's
Sure.
been screwed over. I think the wording can be different if he wanted not to
Sure.
piss off entire communities. That's what I'm
I
pointing out. I
agree.
don't have any problem with Kanye himself.
I agree with that 100%. I guess what I wanted to point out is this here because your first when you begin first talking about it, you said he said something, and then Sunni corrected what you said and said what's happening is you're misquoting what he said. Then once that was done, you then pivoted over to DEF CON 3. So what I'm trying to figure out here, and this is for me to get an understanding, is in your discussions with your Jewish colleagues, what seems to be the source of contention when it comes to Kanye?
The source of contention is just saying Jews and not pointing out that his issue is with X, Y, and Z, with his managers, bankers, writers, whatever they are. If you narrow down who you're complaining included in that attack, this is what they're saying. This is why they got the Jewish community. I got really angry right away. I'm like, okay, fine. So he said something that maybe the wording wasn't correct, but you don't have to get so angry. The point was that if any other community if Ben did it to black, the backlash would also come from the communities quite severe because it feels personal to a lot when you don't differentiate between the problem being a bunch of leftist pigs which happen to be Jewish versus if they're Christian, Muslim, like it's looking around in all the communities in the world as part of that problem.
So it's sounding, and then I'll be quiet, Sunni. It's
okay.
sounding like is because he didn't point out the specific Jewish, not so much people, but I'm saying the Jewish people that he was talking about, and he's used the overarching verbiage of Jews. That seems to be their contention. Is that right?
It makes it kind of personal because they feel like they're being wrapped into the same category because they're Jewish.
Hold, hold on, hold on. I'm confused. Help me understand this now, okay? And I'm gonna use you, Shalom, as a example, okay? Just a hypothetical example, okay? Kanye said what he said, okay? He said what he said, and then what happened is he used the word Jews.
Right.
Now, you took it personal, even though you've never met Kanye at all. You don't know who he is. You ain't seen the man in person. The closest you came to Kanye was when you see him on TV. My question to you is this here. If you don't know this man and he uses the word Jewish, how can you take it personal? You don't know the man.
So you're asking me in theory because I actually didn't have a problem. So you're asking me what
yeah. This is all hypothetical. Yeah, all hypothetical.
Right, okay.
All hypothetical.
So the reason is, as a Jewish person that walks around the streets looking more Kanye is dealing with, the ones that actually look Jewish are the ones that get wrapped, and B, any sort of backlash against the Jewish community would be against. So like, I mean us, and it doesn't mean me personally, but I'm the one that looks Jewish. I represent they walk around looking Jewish. They wear the kippas, the hats, some of them alongside. They're the ones that look like what Kanye was talking. It feels directed at them because that's the way. When you say Jewish, you're wrapping an entire section of people that follow the.
I got a question.
Whatever it is.
Go ahead, Sue.
And I'm not going to spend not one another conversation talking about this. When you say black on black crime, are you talking about all black people?
When I say black on black crime, well, first of all, I whenever that argument comes up,
I just want you to answer. Are you talking about all black people?
For me personally, I don't like that. I don't like that conversation. Black on black crime.
I don't care what you don't like.
You're
I want you to answer my
skirting.
question. If you
Right,
say
but
black
you're
on
asking
black
specifically-
crime, are you talking about all black people?
Good question.
No. Well, you're asking.
Okay.
If I say
So
black
let's
on black
pause
crime.
there. Thank you for answering that. I don't need a whole monologue after. You said
I like
no.
that.
So when Kanye says Jewish people, is he talking about all Jews?
No.
So then your reasoning for being upset is hogwash because he wasn't talking about
No.
all Jews,
It's a
and he
great-
specified
it's a great question.
multiple times. He
That's a great
specified it on
question.
Drink Champs. He specified it on Lex Luthor. He specified it on Twitter. He even apologized, and it's still not good enough.
It's never good
This
enough.
is a false narrative. Jewish people are running with a false narrative. Just as much as I call black folks out for running with false narratives, I'm calling you out. I watch Jewish people call black people on their bluff, but you can't take it when you're on the receiving end. No. He made it very clear.
Yes, he did.
Extremely clear. And he never said all Jews,
I agree.
which
I
is
agree
why
on
he
this.
said,
I agree on this.
I can't be anti-Semitic because blacks are also Jews. I can tell you didn't read the whole tweet.
I actually just brought it up in front of me. I didn't understand the whole part about because blacks are Jews as well. That makes him not anti-Semitic. Like that, I didn't understand. I'm looking at the tweet right now, and I agree. Saying blacks and blacks doesn't include all. Saying all Jews doesn't mean all Jews. Saying Muslims doesn't mean all Muslims. Saying Christians doesn't mean all Christians. What I'm explaining to you is, like the gentleman earlier responded to a text, that if Ben Shapiro wrote that about black community, the backlash would have been the same. I'm just trying to explain.
He does
why they make it seem that
24/7.
way.
So let's throw that out because he talks about black people. Next.
Let's park right there, Shalom. And Shalom, brother, I thank you, brother, for coming up here, brother, and having this is a good, reasonable discussion. Okay, if I think it's reasonable to say, if Ben Shapiro or any Jewish person says black on black crime, and it's real, it's real. I know. For me, I'm like, he ain't talking about me. I don't know Ben Shapiro. I ain't committing no crime, so he ain't talking about me. So the question is, if that's the case when it comes to African Americans, why is the Jewish culture, and I really want to understand, taking a comment that Kanye said without knowing anything about this man? You ain't never met him before, done no business with nothing. All of a sudden now you take it personal. Make that make sense.
So first of all, let's see. I didn't take offense. I didn't get offended by Kanye. First, he's allowed to say what he wants. Problem that he's dealing with, I did not get offended whatsoever. And the first argument I had was with my own community. I came what might be the problem that people are getting upset because they feel included in that. In that, you said you might not take Ben's black on black crime thing. Most healthy people shouldn't. Same way I don't do it for Kanye. But I'm talking about the average black person that's offensive, and the average Jew will take Kanye offensive because it feels like they're lumping them together. I'm just explaining why they're right for feeling that way. I don't believe they are for right for feeling that. I question their whole angle. I was arguing them back and forth the same way that discussion here. I'm
Sure.
just trying to explain might be the reason why people feel like it's personal.
Yeah. And my point is that premise is a false premise because I'm gonna say it with my chest. You don't know Kanye. So stop taking something personal about that you don't know.
Making assumptions.
That's a
I agree with
fact.
that. I agree with that. But most people
I
aren't
mean,
healthy enough for that.
and that's my issue right there. Is most people, they're not listening to understand, they're listening to respond, and that's a problem. And that comes the same when African Americans do the same thing. We call that out too. Sunni does it all the time. All the time. I do that all the time.
I don't disagree, and I would never argue with a black person about it because I do argue with my fellow Jews because that's my community to argue with. As a voice to say maybe there is something to understand, that maybe not including people they hurt. Maybe it's a wrong thing. I don't agree with it. It doesn't hurt me. When Kanye's tweet came up, I laughed. I'm like, yes, there are plenty of shitty Jews. I would like to get rid of myself. Like I feel those pain being screwed over by shitty. Hollywood is the shittiest place on earth, in my opinion. If Russia decided to bomb Hollywood, I wouldn't cry a second. I'm like,
wow.
I mean, it's good to have it's good to have discussions within our communities for sure, but sometimes it be our own communities that keep us stuck where we're at. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's concerning is
I'm only American. First, I don't believe in communities. I don't believe in religions. I think we're all one human race. And as long as we're fighting for freedom and for each other's freedoms and for each other's, so I don't have that. I don't believe in this division. I argue in my community because they're too narrow-minded. So at least a guy looks like them can argue with them.
For sure.
That's what I do.
But you know that Candace wanted to bring Kanye onto her show, and Ben Shapiro said absolutely not. So that's concerning to me.
I don't agree with
that
Ben Shapiro
that he wants to
pretty
make
narrow-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Candace, baby girl, I don't know if you can see this.
You can come on here.
Let's go and do something together. Let's create something that is contrary to the Daily Wire. I got the capital. Let's get it.
Yeah,
let's get it.
Ben is too picky when it comes to this. He's not allowing for discourse on it, which is stupid.
Yeah.
No discourse isn't going to get anywhere. It's just going to trap shit. It's going to be resentful.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt him a lot.
Mm-hmm. It is. I think it already is.
It's on the internet. It's going to get hurt from this, from cutting down conversation. Nobody gains from conversation. The only ones that gain
you, Shalom, man. You are
the media.
But Shalom, man, I like you,
Kanye
big dog.
the ones that gain from shutting conversation down.
Yeah, I like Shalom. I like you, man. 1,000. You all right with me, play. No matter what Sunni say about you behind your back, you good with me, though. You straight with me.
How come I'm always a scapegoat for people's stuff?
Right.
Hey.
No, you know what?
Facts.
Truth be told, you know how Sunni, every time we get in a discussion with other Jewish people, they say those Jews are not Jews that are practicing Jews. So when we talk to people like Shalom and Murray, and like Maitar, like I love those Jews. Like I always say, I love Jewish people. I love the way you guys communicate with each other. Like I relate to that personally because you guys are just like, I don't know, it's just a unique dialogue y'all have with each other. But I have yet to meet a Jew I didn't like. So if it's these other Jews, let's all work together to cancel these non-legit Jews.
That's what I'm saying. And
so
having this dumb conversation. Well, they were offended. I don't care. I don't care.
Y'all don't claim them anyways. If y'all don't claim them anyways, because they're not real Jews.
Act Jewish. I say they don't act human. That's the whole other ballgame. They're not human beings. These people.
No, but
part of the human race.
But the real, like, serious practicing Jews that
get in here, Bryson,
they do not like being associated with these Jews that are not like practicing, very strict.
Bishop Ara.
Oh Lord.
Bishop Ara is in the building. Let's call him Bishop Ara. Cardinal.
So
Show
I
you
don't have that
right.
problem
Charlotte
because
Cardinal,
Man,
I'm
show you right.
practicing or I'm
I'm
practicing.
with Mo on this,
Long as
man.
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Decent you
I'm
you are.
tell, that's
just.
it. Anyway, I'm
Show
gonna
you
get
right.
back to what
I feel
I'm
bad.
doing here.
All right.
Well,
Nice to meet you,
shalom,
Peace
man.
Shalom.
out.
God bless you,
Take
brother.
care.
Thanks for your time, brother.
Bless.
Take care, brother. Blessings,
Save
brother. Yeah, I like Shalom, man. He all right with me.
Yeah,
He
he's
all
cool. He's
right
nice.
with me. All
I
right,
like his
Shalom.
accent.
Put that quote back up about what Jerome Bell. I like Jerome Bell too. He goes all in.
The one that he said
We need
about
NBA.
LeBron.
The NBA players. What would happen to the NBA if the NBA play, if the NBA and Negroes quit? It would go out of business.
I think they
Yeah.
would, which is why they all need to quit.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what me and Sudi have been saying. Why don't they do that? This shit wouldn't last
Because
48
Quit.
hours.
because most NFL players, besides superstars,
Right.
live
Are making.
paycheck to paycheck.
I get it.
Just because they're
I
making $10 million a year doesn't mean that they balling.
yeah, I know.
If you guys don't believe me, go on Netflix, watch a documentary called Broke.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
all
know.
about athletes going broke.
I get it. I'm speaking to the athletes that have the ability to do it and would not suffer, not one day. They don't say nothing. But this is what bothers me. They'll put on this whole, like, they'll put on what they're told to put on. But when it comes time to speak out in support of a fellow Black person, after they've just got done wearing BLM for 2 years straight, Black lives no longer matter now. Kanye's life doesn't matter. Kyrie's life doesn't matter now.
Nah.
It's insane. LeBron James,
Right.
I feel like LeBron should lose everything just on principle. Why not? Please.
Yeah.
She is standing on it. I've been
Yeah,
giving her
And
props, man. I love what she's doing.
and Bryson, your new name, you are no longer Bishop Ora. Okay, you have graduated from that name. Now your name is Apostle. Show you right. All right, Apostle. Show
Where do
you
you
right.
come up
All
with
right.
this?
It's me. It's me. I do it all the time. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
Apostle. Show you right. There you go.
Jerome is going in.
But they go broke because
Man.
because they are not taught about money. And come
Woo!
on, Bishop.
Take a
Do some
breath,
closing back counts.
Jerome.
Hey, brother, he ain't
Jerome.
never have
Maybe we need to
a
bring Jerome in here.
Jerome in the
Jerome's an OG.
house.
He already know he got
Jerome
the
in the
invite.
watch your mouth. Mm-hmm. There
Bryson
you
got
go.
them
I like Jerome.
allergies off of coming off of
Yeah,
traveling. I know what
yeah.
that's like.
Apostle, show you right.
Where's he
There
at?
you go. Show you right. There
That's
you
Hey
go.
man,
Yeah.
I'm just tired of I'm tired of Jews acting like Black liberals and then people letting them get away with it. I'm like, y'all are fake. Y'all call Black folks out all day, but let these people sit here and play victim over some stuff they ain't even experienced.
Yeah. It's all good, y'all. Hey, ain't no thing, bro. My eyes are watering. I can't
Oh,
breathe.
look at
It's all
that.
good.
See, when a man gets sick, man, it is just look at
Hey,
Shakana, we feel
watch
you,
your
girl.
mouth.
Sudi and I know what you're going through,
Hey,
Shakana.
hey,
Listen, men, when
hey.
y'all are sick,
Show you
get on my
right. I
last
understand.
nerve.
Show you right.
Listen,
Yeah.
my
Hey,
my
Bryson, man, make
husband
a
will
song
have
for me called "Show You Right."
watery eyes and sneezing, and for some reason he'll have a limp. I don't understand it. I'm like, why are you limping? What's wrong
Hey,
with your legs?
Wait, I've been
pimps
sick
need
and
love
I've
too.
still been working, bro.
Hey, pimps
Still.
need. Hey, y'all watch
Pimps
y'all's
need love.
mouths. I'm a husband.
And
Men
you
are
Watch your
busy.
probably
mouth.
a pain
We
in the
work.
butt when
I
you're
work
sick.
hard. No, Skip Bayless and said Kyrie could not read, and none of these Negroes said
Oh,
nothing.
that's
Oh,
right. He did say that. When did he tweet
what?
that? Yeah, he tweeted that like a while ago, though, right?
That was a couple days ago.
He
Was he
tweeted that.
canceled?
Yes.
No,
That tweet,
Was he?
that was a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. That's when I did
hold
it
up.
because I did the reaction.
I don't think the tweet or the thing that Skip said was a couple days ago. I think they brought it up
Agreed,
from a while
Shalom.
ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, his tweets didn't age well.
All right,
It was the
But I'm
same
sure
night when
guys.
Jerome.
people sitting courtside wearing
the
those
same.
anti-Semitism shirts.
Oh,
Oh, girl, it's your birthday. Open wide.
Man,
We don't buy no drink
see,
at the
you could
bar.
say stuff. You could say whatever you want to say to black folks, bro. That's pissing me off. Ah, it's pissing me off. It was the day after Kyrie made that tweet. Huh.
okay. I
Who's just gonna?
stand corrected.
Pocket full of money.
Look,
All
Is
right.
Jerome
we
is
got to get
Jerome
into
Well,
coming in
today's
here?
y'all.
Does he have
topic.
the link?
No, he said he's
Well,
Right.
walking his dog. He's
well.
busy.
I'm finna go and
Everybody
do my
take a
since y'all was
picture.
talking bad about no, I ain't gonna say that. See, don't be jealous because I got sayings and you don't. It's okay.
Well,
Just
I
whenever I
was
say
just
myself,
telling everybody
receive
right
this
now
glory.
to take a picture
Hey, hey,
and get ready
hey,
to show
hey,
it to their
hey,
phone.
hey, hey. See, see, see,
By the way, I
see.
have an announcement to make. Me and Bryson, our joint venture, we reached a new achievement: 3,000 views on the shorts that we've been putting up with no promotion. Round of
That is
applause.
Yay.
what's up. All right, yay, Apostle, show you right. Yes, sir. Show you right. Yes, sir.
That's
It's
awesome.
all good, man. But I gotta go do my husband thing because y'all talking bad about husbands. We
Okay.
OGs. We gets it
Okay.
in. When we sick, we sick. Just because my man is limping because he has some sniffles, don't shout him down. He could hurt himself at the workplace.
Mm-mm.
It could be an
Mm-mm.
old injury. Take care of that man. Take care of that
He's
man.
come close. He's come close to finding himself underneath the pillows, suffocating. Okay,
Hey, brother. Hey,
'cause
hey. Mo's husband, brother. I got your back, baby. No
Oh my
matter what she
goodness.
say about you behind your back, you good with me. You good with me, baby. Now take the picture
This
and give it
guy.
to your mama and them. Now say
Mhm.
it with your chest. You see it? Now holla at your pot. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Have a good show, guys. All right, guys.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Peace.
man. He's out of control. We can't let him back on here again.
Nope. Fidel's banned from somewhere in the middle. It's like,
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
actually,
I'm
we can't do
kidding.
that.
We can't. Technically, that's my boss. Just saying.
Right.
But
So, what's our
before
next
we,
topic?
I wanted to talk about this Harley guy.
Oh, yes, this one I'm excited about.
Harley is a real strange
Harley
one.
Pasternak.
He's a
Okay, so
really strange guy.
Harley Pasternak is the trainer to the stars, and he was most recently, well, not most recently. Apparently, he's a trainer who can train 100-something clients all at once, and managed to tweet about magic mushrooms and politics and keto diet. I mean, he gets, but he sent a very concerning text message to Ye,
He
which
did.
Sue had brought
I
up on
have it
our
right
live.
here.
She was like, "Oh, you have it? Okay, yeah." So Suni was like, "How the hell is this not bigger news than it is?" So it says,
I
"I'm
mean,
going to help you." You want me to read it or no? People, y'all can
yeah, go
read.
ahead.
Can you read? Okay. I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that a dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to Zombieland forever. Play with the kids just won't be the same. So let's talk about option 2. Let's just talk about option 2.
I thought that
How
was pretty alarming.
It was very alarming. So, if you guys didn't know, Harley, I think the link to or actually you can probably Google Kanye West 911 call when he was or Harley Pasternak calling 911 or something. Anyways, if you guys didn't know this, Kanye was at, I don't know if he was at Harley's house or a gym, and all of a sudden started to have what they described as a manic episode. And the 911 call can be heard with a physician calling saying, I'm Kanye, I'm this man's doctor. He doesn't identify that it's Kanye. He says, I'm this man's doctor, and he's having a manic episode, and his trainer was here and asked me to come, and we think you guys need to come with reinforcements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the doctor, do you have the doctor's name in that thing? Who is Kanye's doctor? Hold
Let
on.
me pull it up.
I'll probably pull it up fast.
The doctor's name is Michael Farzam.
Yeah, so
Michael
he was a
Farzam.
Jewish doctor, which Kanye had pointed out when he started to talk about this day. He said, I'm not going to say who the doctor's name is, but I am going to say he was Jewish and they committed me. Well, they 5950'd him, I think is what the code is.
5150.
5150. But turns out he never actually was 5150. That's what they determined at the scene, which in California, you can legally declare somebody 5150 at the scene, and then they go to the hospital and they get re-examined, and that's an official 5150. But you guys, check this out. So this doctor that called 911 wasn't Kanye's doctor, okay? He belongs to I guess you would call it like a house call doctor group. So he owns this company. Sorry. He owns this company where you can look it up on Yelp. And you can just call this number and then they'll send a doctor out. Okay. So this particular doctor wasn't actually Kanye's doctor. What we're piecing together through this sub stack information that Suni pulled out of Twitter was that this doctor was called by Harley to be put on the phone with 911 to say, I'm his physician and I'm 5150ing him.
Yep.
Which is real sus. So there he is right there.
This
and
is
if
the
you
guy.
if you guys Google that doctor's name, you'll find his company, which is still active. You can go on Yelp and read all the reviews. So he's still a practice. And by the way, he's just an internist. He's not anything special. So he's not a psychiatric doctor. I don't even think the guy does much but administer home COVID shots and write prescriptions for people who, a la Michael Jackson style.
Yeah, that part. I was going to bring that up, but rest in peace to the king of pop.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want this link, you can go through it like we did. I think we both stayed up. Well, it was technically not night for me, but I think we were
After
both
our
up.
show.
Yeah, for like a couple hours, just going back and forth, sitting. It was wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. The stuff you find when you just sit and read and watch videos. I played the video of him last time admitting that he has indeed tested drugs on the military in order to keep Marines awake if they need to stay awake for 48 hours, and there's a medicine to do that. So I don't think it's far-fetched if he is saying these things in this text message here. I think we should believe him. And once again, why is this not headline news? This is insane, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like people ignore some of the most egregious things happening, but get outraged over very small things.
Well, I mean, I think we just believe when the media says somebody overdosed or they're crazy, that we just believe it, right? Because if you look back at it, I mean, okay, let's go back to Britney Spears. Okay. When she went crazy because the paparazzi was following her, attacked one of them with an umbrella, she shaved her head, it all kind of just made sense. And then, Whitney Houston was another one that she was kind of acting crazy and wild. She, ended up overdosing in a bathtub because she was a known drug addict. But nobody ever asked, why did they go crazy? Why were they a drug addict? Justin Bieber was another one. Corey Haim, even going back even further. The recent one, Aaron Carter,
Yeah.
Does nobody put those things together? Michael Jackson.
I think it's what you said. I think people just tune out after a while. pick and choose what they listen to, but I genuinely think people believe what they see on the media to be true. Like, I don't think they
Mhm.
think twice about anything that they're saying or putting out because it's the why would the news lie? You know how many people say that? Why would the news lie? Like, what do they
Right.
benefit? They're just
Right.
reporting the news. Like, this is what happened. I'm like, apparently you ain't been paying attention to, the Jews love to bring up Hitler. I guess people weren't paying attention to Hitler and how he used the
Mhm.
Joseph Goebbels and his whole theory of the big lie. That's all they did. They told lies, and soon
Mhm.
enough, it was a big enough lie for people to believe it. So, how people don't grasp this, I have no clue. And I agree with you. Right now, it's the Jewish time. It's Jews' time.
Mhm.
2 years ago, it was black folks' time. All you saw on the TV was black this, racism that, cops killing black men. I think it's their turn. And I think that them as a whole are not like us as black people, where some conservatives know how to compartmentalize. Like, you're not talking about me because I don't commit crime, so I really don't care that you're saying this. Whereas them, they're just like, well, it's not all of us, and you're saying these things, and it's making us look bad, and we're fearful of this, that, and the third. Yeah, I wish they would stop that. Come out of whatever you're going through. I get tired of hearing that same excuse. Is Mo frozen? She is. That's kind of freaky. Or am I frozen?
We back?
Dude, that was scary as crap.
What happened?
You were just stuck like this, and I'm like, "Are you good?" And then you came back, and your face didn't move. You just acted like you came back too. See, are you an MK Ultra?
Well, you
Like,
were
what the hell was
frozen.
that, bro? What
You were
was that? That was
frozen.
so weird.
Maybe we're right over the target and they don't want us talking about it.
That was so
I was
weird.
like,
You were just sitting there.
that's
But
funny.
you didn't come back like you glitched out. You just came back too.
Mm,
Like, are we back? Like, what the fuck?
crazy.
That was weird. That was really
Anyways.
weird.
But yeah, I mean, this is some weird stuff, and I think now we're finally starting to put stuff together
Mhm.
because especially since Ye is calling attention to this, and he posted that tweet, or not the tweet, the text message that the trainer sent him.
Mhm.
Um and now he's just like, I'm going, silent or whatever. Um but the fact that this trainer doesn't get looked at, that the media doesn't talk about this, that the news doesn't talk about this, is
Mhm.
wild. And I'll tell you what, guys, us, the people on the internet, we figure shit out 10 times faster than your local news channel. Okay.
Facts. That
I
is
don't
so
ever go
facts.
to the news. They're so behind. They are so behind. I'm telling, like, the Nancy Pelosi thing, y'all gonna be hearing about that. Y'all gonna be like hearing about that Sunni and Mo on Somewhere in the Middle
Bro, he was getting it in
cracked
and
the
she
case.
walked in, bro.
We cracked the case first.
They couldn't have Nancy Pelosi out there looking crazy.
Hmm. No,
Oh my gosh.
no. So, anyways, we were gonna go deeper into the Harley Pasternak thing, but a lot of other podcasts have really kind of clued into it. They haven't taken it as far as researching the doctor.
Yeah.
um And, I went as far as I could go with the doctor because I really wanted to see who else he works with. But you guys, he's literally a nobody doctor. Like, he's not like Michael Jackson's doctor that was like a little bit more well connected because he was
Mhm.
writing prescriptions for other. You know what, though? Speaking of Michael Jackson, you want to know who's connected to Michael Jackson? Like,
Who?
in a huge way? Rabbi Shmuley. Yeah. So Rabbi Shmuley, who's the father of that girl that was going after Candace, Thirsty Souls or whatever.
Yeah.
So if y'all go on YouTube and Google Rabbi Shmuley and Michael Jackson, okay, Rabbi Shmuley released all these home videos of Michael Jackson after he died, okay, showing like a very like candid side of Michael, but he also asked him a lot of questions. People make a lot of a big deal out of that interview that Martin Bashir did with Michael Jackson that really exposed the child molestation stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then the Finding Neverland documentary. But if you watch these videos, these home videos that Rabbi Shmuley made of Michael, which Michael at one point considered him his spiritual advisor, by the way. Yeah.
That guy?
Okay. So let's just put that together. So Rabbi Shmuley was Michael's spiritual advisor. He would spend Jewish holidays. Michael would spend Jewish holidays at his house. He bought his family a dog. Okay. And when they kind of separated was when Michael got caught up in the child molestation stuff. And then they came out with the Finding Neverland documentary. Rabbi Shmuley says, that is when I had to part ways with Michael because these kids started to come out and say stuff, right? But yet all those stories were kind of debunked after that documentary came out. But here Rabbi
Right.
Shmuley was with these home videos that he released of Michael.
How come I've never seen these videos? I've never even heard of this.
So I remember when Rabbi Shmuley started going live and talking and defending his daughter, I was like, why does this dude's his voice sounded familiar to me? And that's when I Googled him and saw that he had a connection to Michael Jackson, which I found fascinating. Yeah.
Whoa.
And in one of the home videos, he asked Michael, he says, do you ever think about disappearing and, just to get away from all of this? And Michael says, all the time. And he said, well, how would you do it? And he says, well, I'd have to fake my death. That's what he says.
What?
Yeah. It's wild.
Can you send that to me? Because I got to
I'll
get my
send-
kids. I'm going to watch that on the way to get my kids from school. What?
Yeah. I'll send them to you. So there's some video and then there's some of it that's like just like some video playing while there's audio of their conversations because he recorded their phone conversations.
That's weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's deep. We could do a whole show because I love me some MJ, y'all. Listen, don't talk to me about no MJ molested kids because I ain't trying to hear it. He's innocent. Michael is innocent.
He's innocent. I believe he's innocent too. I'll be honest. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think he did that. I don't think he did that at all.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Aaron Carter, even in that interview with Vlad TV, Vlad asked him about that, and he said, "My mom tried to make me say that I was molested by Michael because she wanted the paycheck," and he was like, "I won't do
Damn.
it."
The Fed. DJ Vlad is a Fed.
Yes, Jerome. Michael is innocent.
Ooh, we should come out with some shirts that say that.
Michael is innocent.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "Who the fuck is?" It should say, "Michael is innocent. Whitney didn't die of an overdose." What else?
Who else passed?
What else can we do? I'm trying
Pimp
to see.
C. Pimp C
C.
didn't just die. He
Right.
was calling out the boule.
Right. Who's the one? Oh my gosh, Nipsey. Nipsey didn't get
Hussle.
shot by no. Nipsey didn't get shot by no random ass.
Nope.
Kobe didn't die in some random helicopter crash.
Nope. And then you know what we can put at the bottom? Hashtag don't mess with Jews.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's fire. I need 10% of that shirt, by the way.
Gosh. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a good shirt.
That would really cause some. Yeah. So are you saying that they're responsible for these deaths? I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying
Kinda.
what I'm saying.
Kinda. Because you remember how mad they were when Michael came out with that song, "They Don't Really Care About Us."
They were
And
pissed.
he used the word kike. Kick me, kike me.
Don't
That
put that
song
in
was-
there.
Dude, that song was lit.
I like that song. I still listen to it.
Hell yeah, dude. That's my hype song.
That's your hype song?
That's my hype song.
Oh my God. Prince.
Yeah.
Ooh, he giving us all of them.
Prince.
The
I'm
artist
telling
formerly known
you.
as Prince.
Sue me,
Jew
Jew
me.
me. Everybody do me. Oh, Michael
Ooh.
was a freak, though. Michael was a freak.
Michael was a freak.
Dude, Nick Carter said he smoked weed with Michael Jackson.
I bet, man. I wish I could have rolled a J with Michael Jackson. You know, I want to smoke.
Right?
I want to smoke a blunt with Candace, just to hear how unfiltered she gets. I think that would be
I feel
fun.
like she would never. Dude, that bitch is smart. Not. Sorry, Candace. I didn't mean to call you a bitch. I feel bad calling her a bitch, but listen, she is smart without the weed. You know how I always say, like, I don't smoke weed because if I do, I feel extremely smart, like in my head. I'm like, I'm fucking genius right now. Can you imagine Candace?
I gotta smoke a blunt with
I
Candace.
would never. No, I can't do that. The one time I did, I was like,
I'm
dang,
not
dude, I'm
smoking with
so
Mo.
smart.
Mo's a
No,
liability.
I won't shut up. I'll kill it.
I'm
I'm a
going to bed.
liability.
I'm going to bed. You're like, all right, I'm tired. I go watch Netflix. I'm not even going to bed. I just don't want to hear you
No.
talking anymore.
And I would just keep talking and laughing. I would laugh uncontrollably.
That's when everybody in the room has to just stop and stare at you.
And then I'd be
Right.
like, dude, what is that? What is that? Like, I'd be like, why, Sudi, why are your eyes moving? That's what I would be like. I have all kinds of weird experiences. So that's why I just don't mess with that stuff.
This is why are your eyes moving? Because I'm looking around the room.
Dude, that would be so funny.
I thought I had stupid
Sad.
moments. Remember, look, I thought I figured out how I knew the earth was round, and everybody was like, did you think about this before you said it? And I'm like, yeah, in my head it made sense. Hello. It
That's
made
so
sense.
funny.
Look, I did this. I said, you want to know
Dude.
how I know? Because I spin around in a circle and it's round.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it was like crickets.
I'm just sitting here thinking about it though, because it does make sense. It kind of does make sense.
Oh gosh.
They
That's when
made
you get dumb
microwaving.
though. Like, I don't smoke to get that high anymore. Oh my goodness. That was just boring. I'm about to sit in the backyard and smoke until it's gone, and then I said something really stupid. And I felt stupid when I said it too. I was like, man, that didn't make any sense. I'm just not talking. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut.
Because didn't you say you were like at like a barbecue or something?
I was.
And the people there were like, what the hell? And you and your husband was like, shut up.
He was like, and this is why I don't smoke. And I felt even more embarrassed because he's like, it's like, what the? Did you just embarrass me like this? What are you doing?
I just wish I could have been there. Because did you demonstrate turning around? You straight were like,
I turned around. I'm like, because I go like this and it's in a circle. It was really smart in my head. Like, I felt like I made this
like
epiphany.
the best argument. Yeah.
And even the people who like were smoking with me, they was like, oh, okay. So the weather's nice. It was awkward. I'm never gonna have one of those moments again. That would be the only time. But that is definitely my funny like stoner story.
That's funny. That is funny.
Make sure you guys go take that somewhere. Go take that story somewhere and then tell it, and then tell them this is how you know the earth is round.
See if it makes sense.
All the flat earthers make crazy conspiracy theories that stick. How come mine can't stick?
I mean, it really has like the simplicity of something like a child would say. Right? You know how children say things
Or
that are
did
very
you just
simple.
say that I had a very childlike, immature thought?
But you know how sometimes like kids will say things and it's like very smart, but very
Yes.
simple. Like that's how I liken that comment.
Like when I told my son, hey, son, make sure you always ask questions because it makes your brain bigger. And he kept asking questions. And I was like, bro, why are you asking me so many questions? Because you told me it makes my brain bigger. And I was like, dang, I don't even have a rebuttal for that.
You were like, only Monday through Wednesday after.
gosh. Well, I gotta hop off here, guys. I'm back on
All
mom
right.
duty. Kids are out of school early.
This is the show you guys are getting because we're not going to be on Friday because I'm going to be gone. But we'll be back the following Friday.
She's going to the weed capital. I'm so jealous.
And I'm not even going to do anything. What a waste.
Who goes to Colorado to not smoke weed?
Well, I'm going to drink and sit in a jacuzzi is what I'm going to do.
You can drink and sit in a jacuzzi anywhere, though.
Mm,
There's
not
weed
really.
there.
I don't know because I'm not a big drinker like on the regular. You know what I mean? So like I drink like that when I go away. I'm really square, you guys.
I don't believe you.
Don't let the blonde hair fool you that you think I'm a wild child.
Mo's not a square. You're lying.
I like the image. And you're not mean.
Everyone knows I'm not mean.
You're so
The
nice.
only people who don't believe it are weirdos on the internet who've never spent an ounce of time
No, dude, there are people that are afraid of you for sure.
with me. No, they're not. Don't say that.
Yeah, I think it's funny, dude. Like I see, dude, like that chick, like the Jewish chick. She was like afraid to go live with you. She was like, "Oh, who's Sunni? Like I don't know who she is," and she was like trying to get out of it.
Don't run. Come back here and get this work. She
Wait, does
did
it
definitely
sound
try to
good?
run from me though. See what I mean, dude? She's not a square. What is this?
Wait, let me do one more thing. Hold on. Let me do one more thing. Hold on. Hold on. Did that sound sexual? Did it?
I gotta go. I don't know what's happening.